Welcome to Impact Wrestling. Now, I want to make it... I got something I got to show you guys, but I want to say this first before I get started and show you what I'm going to show you. When you look at this show, was it a lot in one show? Yes, there were a lot of video packages. There were some good things that were done. Some people showed up, and I will talk about certain things if I don't forget, like I do time. If this was the Gump Report, you know what you get. You get me forgetting things because there's so much. It's hard to keep track even with notes. But this was a good go-home show for Rebellion. And I'll explain why. Particularly the one thing that shows the future. Now, before we get started, I got to do this. I could wait until I have everything set up, but I thought because of what I decided to do, why not do it now? Until I have everything together, and then you'll see it for yourself. Now, let me give a simple example. This. You say this. This has been around since 2017, ever since I got it. And being in a small apartment and being on a budget, you got to be careful how much you spend. I'm on a budget. And I've been wanting to update this thing here for a bit, but I didn't see anything I liked either in Kmart. I didn't see anything I liked online. And I did get AEW. You guys saw the poster I got. I liked that one, but I couldn't find anything else that just resonated with me. So, luckily for me, and maybe lucky for you because you will see this in a moment, because, and you guys know I do another channel for animation. I've been having to work on graphic design. I'm learning how to do design for myself for like for banners and stuff for the videos that I do. If you've seen my work and my animation, I know you don't give a damn about animation that I do, but I have to make banners for my animation. So I thought, I am so frustrated. I can't find the posters I want. So I thought, stupid, make it yourself and then get it printed up. And this is one of them. It's not big because they're very expensive to make and I'm still on a budget. But I'm going to get a couple of them along with the AEW, and these things right here, these are still staying around. Like with Kurt, I have one with Bret Hart that's on the side. You can't see it. You got one with Kurt Hennig. You got DX. Yeah, you got this Cena. Yeah, Cena, and the NWO. I will be keeping them around. This one is going. I'm not getting rid of it, not throwing it away. I still like it, even though it's torn up. But I'm keeping it, and I'm replacing it with this. I made this, guys. I know this seems like something silly, and it looks pretty cool. I'm not saying that everyone will like it. Probably they're not. But I thought, hey, I'm doing NWA Power reviews. I'm doing AEW reviews. I'm doing Impact Wrestling reviews. Why don't I just get a poster that represents what I'm doing? And even if you don't see it every time, and it will be hanging here along with several other things, you will see it in the background and you know what I care about. Maybe I might actually use it as a thumbnail. No, I don't want to make it as a thumbnail. That doesn't work. But you can see. This is what I learned to do. I learned to design my own sort of poster. Now you can poon me and say, dude, that doesn't look so cool. Or you can say, damn, dude, I didn't know you had that talent. Well, guess what? I didn't either. Now, I've gone through that, showing off, and I don't like to show off. I feel like an idiot. Let's get into Impact. I'm not going to be heavily detailed. A lot of this show had a lot of video packages. And you know what? I'm going to go to that. They got a lot of video packages. They're trying to put over Rick Swann. And I know people are still mad about AEW not doing one video package or even mentioning once about Rebellion and that their damn champion is about to go and try and get another title next to the Mega Championship of AAA and AEW. He'll have 3 titles. He will. So a lot of people are still pissed about that. And you already know what my thoughts are because I already said it on AEW. Here, they really try to promote it very heavily. They bring in a lot of the Impact stars, generally speaking, on Impact Wrestling. Only the Good Brothers are the ones who will really be for AEW along with Don. That's it. But that didn't show up until Rich's segment. But that is what we got. Then we got Taylor Wilde showing up. A small snippet of her. And they have been showing her on Twitch. So I didn't say anything last week because I was hoping they would elaborate on her. But they haven't. They're just saying she's coming back in April. Along with the Impact Zone coming back in April. That means, and I didn't want to say anything because I'd rather wait until I can see what type of people they're going to be bringing back to the Impact Zone. Because if they're going to the Impact Zone, that means what? That means they may have fans back. So that's going to be the question, if it's really fans or it's just they're moving to a place that's the Impact Zone and that's it. And it's still the same way. I don't know. I just left it. But Taylor Wilde, I never seen her because I didn't see the product before 2010. So I don't know if she's good, bad, or in between next to the snippets they show with her and Awesome Kong. That's it. I don't know anything else. Now, we also had someone not show up, and I wondered why. He did one segment of Swingers Palace. Where is Petey Williams? The reason I didn't say anything about Petey was to know how far they're going to use Petey as Make Believe Muscle because Big Papa Pump is not there. Why not use Make Believe Muscle as Big Papa Pump? I would have gone, dude, Big Papa Pump is not going to be there. But Make Believe Muscle is who you need to be hollering. Holler if you hear me. Why not? Why don't they use Make Believe Muscle in Big Papa Pump's place? And they haven't. They didn't show him. They just let us hear his voice when they did a video segment for the X Division. And they did a video segment for the women. And they did a video segment for tag teams. Like Finn Juice had the moment when you saw the match between DK, and I'll go right there now. DK versus the Good Brothers. It was a good match. Black Toru he may not be as big as Luke Gallows, but he just has that feeling of being a bigger guy than what he is. And if this was WWE, he would have been buried. So seeing him like this in Impact, I will say they're allowing him to be what he is in AAA. A big monster that may not be the same size as a real monster, but he's strong enough to be a monster. I'm fine with that. Of course, DK lost. And then you had the segment, them calling out Finn Juice, and then Finn Juice having their video package talking about, well, because the Good Brothers thanked them for taking their titles to make them realize they're being complacent, Finn Juice said, well, you're welcome, but you're still not getting your titles, and you better get some methadone or whatever you need to sleep because you're dreaming. There you go with that. Now, we had, why? Sherwood Raju versus Jake Something. Now, when you look at Jake Something compared to Shera, Jake Something actually looks like he will be something. He just has something there because at least he's worked with Violence by Design. At least he's been doing something. Then you got Shera, who I know many people still think he's nothing but a damn jobber. He can't work, he can't talk, he can't do shit. But I've told you guys over and over again, that's not 100% Shera's fault. That is management's and particularly creative's fault for not doing anything with him. Because look what happened. They broke him away from Rajun. What did they do with him? Nothing. He went to Swingers Palace once, had a fight with Storm and Sabin, and that's it. And what did they do? They teamed him back with Raju again. Just because Raju now has a little more merch money because people like his merch. Why? Won't you do something with Shera? Can't you book him? Or is it a problem that Shera can't appear and he can't be booked? Or maybe his contract's about to be up if he even has a contract. Now, if it's those two, that he can't be booked because of a situation, maybe with covert, maybe with immigration, I don't know. That's one. Or maybe his contract up and they just don't want to push him because his contract is almost up. I understand that. But if he still sticks around, he has a contract, this is stupid. They could have done something more with him. and they've done nothing. And put in with Raju. I would rather see Raju do something else, and why don't you get someone else to be Shira's... Well, look, if you need Shira to be with somebody, why not put him with Susie? Hell, why not? She's not doing anything but being a lackey for Purrazzo. And let's move on. You got Susie versus Tennille Dashwood. Now they're pushing her. And I'm glad. Tennille Dashwood is good. She has a good character. She has good ring work. And they've done nothing, well, most of nothing, due to the fact she couldn't be there. Of course, she hasn't been there for months. Only recently has she come back. So now they're doing something with her. Good. It's good to see they're actually going to do something with Dana Purrazzo and Tennille Dashwood. Tennille Dashwood won, and unfortunately, I couldn't catch the shot of a little bit of cleavage from a Susan. Oh, please, someone at Impact, please turn Susan into Suzanne, the seductress. Turn her into someone who's got to wear something sexy and revealing a little bit to show that she has range. We've now seen Su Yung, the crazy undead bride. We've seen Susie, the innocent one. Now we've seen the whatever Suzanne is. We need the fourth person, like from a McFoley doing Dude Love, Cactus Jack, and the Mankind. Do a Suzanne, a seductress. Please, someone realize she needs to be that. Make her look like Scarlett Bordeaux. Showing a lot of cleavage, a lot of leg, and a lot of ass. But in the end, of course, she lost. And then Tennille Dashwood had a moment to talk and say, hey, you got to thank me for everything you had, because she did start the women's revolution in WWE as she's trying to proclaim. And you should thank me. But keep that title nice and clean, because I'm coming for it. Coming in Rebellion. Now, we got another women's match. Hogan versus Grace. This is about their match coming up in Rebellion for the tag titles. Now, this wasn't about the match. We knew there's no way that the Hood Rats is going to lose. I didn't expect a Jordynne Grace to win. I just can't believe they were going to let her win, because we didn't know who her partner was. So, I couldn't believe it when they showed, and they did DQ the match. Rachel Ellering, a second generation wrestler, now shows up on Impact Wrestling. Now, she was in the Mae Young Classic. I think the second one. Then she went on to the Performance Center and worked in the roster for NXT for a little while before she was gone. Do I believe she's a good fit for Impact? She might be. She also went to AEW a little bit. I do believe she was on Dark. I could be wrong. I think she's also appeared on Dark. But will she be a better fit for Impact? Yes. For the simple reason they need freaking women there. Understand this. In AEW, they have all the independent wrestlers coming in doing Dark, which periodically gets shown on Dynamite. And what are they doing, most of them? They don't get seen on TNT, and this is what people don't get. If you're not seen on TNT, YouTube is just YouTube. It's not a major network. So even though a lot of people watch YouTube, does not mean you get 10 million people, or even 5 million, or even 500,000 people looking at AEW. You get maybe, 100, 200,000 people watching, compared to millions on TNT. They just are not going to know them unless you're diehard fans. So Rachel Ellering is actually a good fit for Impact right now, because they need women, and if she's trained well enough, she's ready for main work. Now she's going to be Jordynne Grace's partner. Cool. Now, let's see here. Sami Callihan had his vidpac, and so did Trey. And the one that was the best was not Sami, it was Trey. Because they were at his training center. He was with his trainer. I don't remember the guy's name. He used to be a wrestler. I don't believe he wrestles anymore. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry, guys. This is the second time I've seen him. But he tried to make sure that Trey stayed on point and say that At the end of it, you're going to show how great you are. But then Trey's getting pissed off as hell saying, why do I need to prove anything to him or anyone else? He said, you don't need to. Just be you. And he says, you know what? I'm going to destroy Sami Callihan. I'm going to destroy him and make it clear to myself. That's what it was. And then they had the training montage. Kind of like Rich Swann. But here's the thing. This is me. This is just me. I don't think you expect this or believe it. But if you take away the storyline from pretty much from Trey and Sami, who's really trying to put him over, and I respect Sami for that, I do still believe Sami should not be in that position. I'm glad he's helping to put other people because he can. And I've never said Sami couldn't put anyone over because Sami is one of the best workers on how to help bring other wrestlers up and make them look like something. He's not called the Draw for nothing. He did that for Eddie, who wasn't a nobody, but he really helped him out even though he got whacked in the eye. He helped Moose work, well, technically speaking, because he helped Eddie, Eddie helped Moose. So that also elevated Moose. You really see LAX having the moment with Sami and his family, and then Tessa. She wouldn't be where she is if it wasn't for him. So seeing him with Trey is great, but Sami should be doing something entirely different. Either he should be X Division champion, or he should be in the main title scene along with Moose, Rich, and Eddie Edwards. I'm just being honest here. And what would you think would be a good thing? Wouldn't it be good to see... I think I'll save that. I'm going to save it. I'll save this because I'm about to start something that's for the end of this review. Now, who else am I going to talk about here? No. I already talked about that. Oh, when it was Shira, they did talk about Mauro Ranallo. And supposedly Mauro Ranallo knows someone from Impact for the last 20 years. Really? If that's real, if that's true, I can understand why he's doing this. Maybe as a favor to somebody. Or, like I said in my Gump report, if you haven't seen number 15, I believe it's number 15. I've been doing so many, it's hard to remember them all. But number 15 with Mauro Ranallo and John Cena. I know you don't like Cena, but still. I truly say they better treat him right because of how he's been treated from WWE. He's not going to care about money. He's going to be caring about someone showing him respect and not harassing him. So if there is someone in Impact that he does know that he cares about that will treat him with respect, you never know that he may go to Impact Wrestling over AEW, which can throw bigger money than Impact ever could. This is not about money tomorrow. This would be about being treated with respect, enjoying himself, and not being harassed and bullied. That's what's going to matter to him. So I had to say that. Now, the last match of the night was Eric Young versus Eddie Edwards, which I don't know why that's there. That shouldn't have been the ending of the show. Honestly, for me, it made no sense. This was the one mistake they made on the show. Let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything because, no, I believe I remembered everything. If I did forget something, I'm sorry. This match shouldn't have happened here. This match, I understand the reason why it was there because of the fight afterward. Because Eric Young won, both teams started beating up on each other, and that's how you close the show. That's what has always been the standard for most promotions going into a pay-per-view. When it's going to be an 8-man tag. They believe they need to do that. And to be honest, I believe that was not necessary. That shouldn't have been necessary. This shouldn't have happened. But this should have. The Rich Swann segment. That was at the 1 hour mark. When it should have been at the closing of the show. I do not agree that you have the two teams that have been messing with each other at Rebellion close the show. This shouldn't have happened. This was wrong. But one good thing was shown. We just seen the future. Or I'm going to put, we've seen the future. You got Rich Swann coming out with both titles. And he said, I went to that press conference and I made a mistake. I was in front of Kenny. I was showing him respect. He stuck his hand out and I'm about to shake it and he smacks the taste out of my mouth. And I'm going, what? And then I want to wipe his neck. I want to wipe him out, but I couldn't because we got stopped. Now he calls him out. Of course he wasn't there. Don put him over along with Kenny. And they're making it very clear that this is an immense moment. And now if Kenny wins, he will be a 3-promotion champion. The Omega Championship from AAA, which he does not defend on Dynamite, which he did once, I believe, once or twice. I think he did once. He should be defending that title more on AEW. If he's going to AAA, I understand. Cool. If his requirements is to only do it in AAA, I can understand it. They let him do it once on Dynamite. But if he's allowed to do it on Dynamite, he should be doing it. Because that would really give him more credibility as a duo champion of 2 promotions. He should be doing that. He should be. But he hasn't. Then this. Now, that was fine. Good. But before that happened, you see this man in my face. We just seen the future. And it's Moose. Moose comes out after not being seen for weeks since Sacrifice. He comes over to Swan, and he doesn't give him a Swan song. He doesn't try to whoop his ass. He doesn't. He goes to Rich and says, congratulations, you beat me. I respect you, so I'm congratulating you. But now I'm making it very clear. You're about to go up against a guy that I haven't faced. He doesn't say that, but that's what it comes down to. But because you're now going to face this guy in a high-profile thing does not mean you can't handle him, because you handled me, the true god of professional wrestling. Who do you think put you through the worst beating of your life? Who do you think is the most toughest, the most fastest, the most strongest? You're looking at him. You learned from me. Use that. And good luck. But one thing. And he points at both titles. And he says, you better not lose those titles. Because if you do, you're going to get reprisals you're going to wish you never had. And Rich says simply, Moose, don't worry. I'm not going to lose these titles. And don't worry about it. I'll give you your shot. I can whoop your ass again. He doesn't say it like that, but that's what it comes down to. And then, of course, you had the ending of the show and the fight. This is what I think about this show. It was a good go-home show. It was. But when it comes down to this situation, ladies and gentlemen, we have a situation where if this goes wrong, both promotions are going to suffer greatly. Because right now, I know from just a few subscribers right now talking, they're angry that AEW has not promoted at all Impact Wrestling. And this is the truth. AEW may be doing it on Twitter. Maybe on Twitter. I don't even know because I don't check Twitter. I don't check Facebook. I check no social media because I don't want to get too oversaturated with wrestling and then my anxiety gets me. It happens. It does. That's why I'm careful about how much content I produce. But I don't know if they've actually promoted it on Twitter. If they have not promoted it on Twitter or their website, and Impact Wrestling has, I can understand why everyone is just mad at AEW. But I say this again. Impact knows what they got themselves into. They do. And no matter how much you're going to keep bashing AEW, saying, dude, you're still not getting it. This is about AEW. Impact is doing the job. And what have I told you over and over and over and over again? How many times has Impact worked with another promotion and got nothing out of it? Yes, when they do their pay-per-views, they win them. But they do a lot of promotion for those other companies on their social media and even send their people over there. When was the last time you heard that the other people send a huge amount of people over to them? They don't. Impact goes to them. Impact has bent their asses over for them and they've gotten nothing. Pro Wrestling Noah. Remember that. Triple A. Remember that. Crash. Remember that. Dragon Gate. BCW. They promoted them, but they didn't gain anything. So no matter how many times you keep saying in the comments, I'm going to keep telling you, how many times have they done this? Dragon Gate, Pro Wrestling Noah, BCW, AAA, Crash. How many more are there? That's a lot. Over the last 6 years. 6 years. And also, they also did House of Glory, where they helped House of Glory because they're a smaller promotion. They were willing to go on there and put them on Impact Plus and give them something. That makes 6. You want to keep going? Because they keep doing it and they gain nothing. Yes, they show those promotions, but they don't gain anything. The only thing they gained was LAX. That's generally it. And maybe Brian Cage. But then, look, LAX is not with them anymore. Santana Ortiz is not there. Brian Cage is not there. They gained nothing. So when it comes to this, unless this is an angle, like I said, and my AEW review, and Rich Swann is going to win, unless they really promote Impact after Rebellion on their show and mean it, again, Impact gets screwed here. They get screwed by the other company, and they screw themselves for allowing themselves to work with another company which will make 7. I say this again. 7. And probably more, but 7. 7 promotions in maybe 6 years. How do you justify that? Tell me. I want someone to try and tell me this time. And I'm not trying to bash none of my subscribers. Everything you say, I respect. And in many cases, you're right in most parts, or even in all of it. But you cannot justify this. 7 promotions. 7, counting AEW. 7 in 6 years they've tried this. In at least 6 years, they've tried 7 promotions to work with and gained nothing from it. Unless AEW is playing an angle, that's the reason why they haven't promoted them. And maybe Rick Swann is going to be the champ. Or they're having problems with TNT. Let's play devil's advocate. TNT is giving them problems. They can't promote Impact Wrestling, which I don't think that's the problem. I don't think so. Access TV is allowing them to promote it. I don't think TNT is giving them a problem. But when it comes down to it, if something does not happen within the next 2 weeks or 3 with outside of Rebellion, let's say Rich does not win and it's Kenny. They got 2 or 3 weeks before the fans eat them alive. And I'm saying this again. The fans will eat them to fuck alive. Because they can't stand that they're being treated like idiots when you're working with another promotion. You're only showing 2 guys from that promotion. The other promotion is sponsoring you, letting you do ads on their show, letting you to put their people on the show. Look what happened to Private Party and Matt Hardy. You take Matt Cardona, and when it comes down to it, you gain nothing. Your fans will eat you alive along with the fans in the other promotion. It will happen. And I'm saying this to you guys. I'm not ignoring nothing. We still don't know. We wait until after Rebellion. 2 weeks, maybe 3. If nothing happens, you have more than the right to eat them the fuck alive. AEW, you have the right to eat them alive more than anything else. But I suggest you eat Impact alive because this is now the 7th time. 7. WrestleGate, Crash TV, AAA, Pro Wrestling Noah. Do you want me to keep going? Huh? BCW. You got House of Glory, and then you got AEW. That's 7 fucking promotions. And you guys are trying to say this is not Impact's fault? 7 promotions, counting the one they're working with now. 7 in 6 years or more. 7, and they gain nothing. Do not try to say that Impact is innocent. They are not. Once, yeah. Twice, yeah. You can say that if it's not one behind the other, but it was. Within 2 years, they did it. Twice. And that was Crash, and that was AAA. 2 years together. Then all the others spread out across maybe 1 or 2 year separation. And I'm telling you now, if this happens, you'll hate it. And you have the right to. But this is just my point of view. Have a good day. My camera stopped. Have a good day. Peace.